Back here at our HTS Sports Desk, I'm George Johnson, where we've played two periods of action out there at the arena where the Washington Capitals and the Sabres going head-to-head in this third and final meeting of the season between these two teams. The Sabres won the first two, but the Capitals lead after two periods by the score of 3-1, getting goals from Juneau, Jones, and Miller in the process. Meanwhile, the Boston Bruins are in Pittsburgh taking on the Penguins. Boston earned that playoff spot on Wednesday with a victory over Hartford. 28th straight year now that they are headed to the playoffs, the longest current streak in the National Hockey League for the Boston Bruins. Though losing to the Pittsburgh Penguins, they are in the third period by the score of 3-1. Pittsburgh getting goals from Joey Mullen, Kevin Stevens, and Sean McEacherney. Meanwhile, in New York, the Rangers playing host to the New York Islanders. The Islanders leading the Rangers, who desperately need a victory to be able to stay in that 8th spot, which is where they are right now in the Eastern Conference standings. But the Islanders leading them by 2 goals by the score of 3-1. This one is right now in the third period. How about the Philadelphia Flyers? At one time, they weren't in the playoffs for 5 straight years. That was the longest streak in the National Hockey League. But they are now back in the playoffs this year after winning 9 straight to secure that playoff berth. Since that 9-game winning streak, well, they have kind of laxed off a little bit with 2 straight losses, including an embarrassing one to the Ottawa Senators at home by the score of 5-2. Tonight, they're in Hartford. The Whalers desperately need a victory. We got highlights of this one. Oh, yeah, and the Whaler fans do believe in their club. Reason why, Paul Ranheim controlling the deflection. Yeah, as he scores. Kind of gets crashed into the boards after the goal, but the Whalers were up by the score of 1-0. Still in the first, Rod Brindamore scrambles behind the net. Scores right here past Sean Burke, knotting things up at 1 apiece. More Brindamore. This time the pass intended for Sean Podine, but it's kicked in by a Hartford Whaler. You can see right there on the replay. And Philadelphia led by the score of 2-1. Still in the first, still more Brindamore. The pass, Lindros. Thank you very much. And Philadelphia, thanks to 3 points in the first for Brindamore, was up by the score of 3-1. Yes, the Flyer faithful extremely happy as the Flyers go on and win this one by the score of 4-3. Elsewhere in the National Hockey League, the Florida Panthers taking on the New Jersey Devils. The Devils and the Panthers are tied up. This one is in the third period. The Blues will be taking on the Vancouver Canucks. This one will start at 10:30. St. Louis already has secured its playoff spot in the Western Conference, and they are playing extremely well recently. Vancouver in the 6th position in the Western Conference. And the Kings and the Sharks going at it. Both teams looking for the 8th and final spot in the West. The victor gets it. We got a commercial break. More from the arena right after this.
What do you get when you fly the low-fare airline? Fun fares.
Well, you waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low now. You really should fly.
Light up the night. Southwest Airlines' new fun fares are so low. Want to see that again? Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
Come along with us, 'cause we got a lot of things to do now. You really should fly. Have fun, flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, flying on a fun fair.
So Ricky the Rabbit yelled, "Mr. Fox is coming," but no one could hear him. So he dashed to his trusty advanced copier and made hundreds of high-quality copies and threw them all off the cliff, and all the little bunnies were saved. The end.
Grandpa, was that the Minolta 9760 or the Sharp Birdie 75?
Copiers, fax machines, digital duplicators, shredders, advanced business systems. We live and breathe this stuff.
While some dealerships offer you the moon and stars, your local Jeep and Eagle dealers are throwing in the sun. Because right now you can get a great deal on an Eagle Vision and get an ASC sunroof at no extra charge. That's a $1,400 value. So hop into the sophisticated Eagle Vision TSI with values up to $1,850. A 214 horsepower V6 engine, dual airbags, and a power sunroof. But you better act fast because the sun sets on this deal soon. See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
It could only come from here, Canada. The home of ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed to be colder and bolder. Yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice from the land where
How can you be sure you're getting the best meat, the best selection, the best price? Better go to Safeway. Our meat department only has USDA graded beef, great cuts of delicious pork, tender lamb, juicy beef, and mouth-watering poultry, all for prices that are sure to please. And it's all right here. So if you want the best, you know nobody does it better than Safeway.
Vincent Petway, the IBF junior middleweight champion, fights out of Baltimore. Three-time world champion Simon Brown fights out of D.C. On Saturday, April 29th, the world will find out what these two have known all along. This town's not big enough for the both of them. Petway, Brown, the Beltway Brawl, plus two other championship fights, Saturday, April 29th at US Air Arena. Visit Ticketmaster or call 202-432-SEAT today.
After two periods from the US Air Arena, it's the Washington Capitals 3, the Buffalo Sabres 1. Kenny Albert, Greg Laughlin, and Al Koken back on HTS. Capitals 3, Sabres 1. Craig, that second period had to be one of the Capitals' best periods this season. They held the Sabres to 4 shots, and they scored 2 goals of their own.
Oh, it was a blanket defense they threw over the Sabres. The Sabres did not generate any offense. You look at the high scoring chances as being a real perimeter that you look at to decide how this team's playing. The Capitals have had 14 quality scoring chances against Hasek. The Sabres only 5. And with that type of firepower, you know the Capitals are doing a great job defensively.
And the Capitals outshot Buffalo 8-4 in that second period. 21-11 overall. Capitals also getting the job done face-off-wise, and both teams with 1 power play marker.
And Kenny, let's pick up the Keith Jones goal. Here's Jonesy here. They're putting pressure on the D. The Capitals in good position defensively, and it's going to be this errant pass right here. Here's the high, hard pass across the wing, rink wide. Hold it here. He was looking for his forward right here, but look at the puck. It's going to bounce right back here to Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy Johnson's going to get it and tee it up, and here it goes. And hold it right here. Here's Connor Walchuk here. He's going to take a swipe at it, and then you can just see Jonesy coming into the picture here. He's going to connect right there, and that's just going to knock it high enough to beat Dominic Hasek over the blocker.
Goal number 12 for Keith Jones from Jim Johnson at 3:58. That gave the Capitals a 2-1 lead.
And when you're talking defense, you're talking the big line, the defensive line. Mike Eagles, number 36. Dale Hunter coming into the play, but watch what happens here. Here's Mike Eagles with the puck. Hold it here. All number 89 has to do, that's Alexander Mogilny's greatest speed in the National Hockey League, is take him out. But instead, both Galley and Mogilny let Mike Eagles go behind the net. And here's Eagles taking it. Look, no one's on him. A little bit of a high stick there. Hold it right here. The Sabres in pretty good shape. Here's Eagles. Gary Galley's got him. Bodger should simply eliminate Kelly Miller, and the play is over. But instead, a break for the Capitals. Missed assignment. Hold it here. Now look, you got Bodger here. You got Galley here. You got wide open in front. Kelly Miller, and a beautiful pass for a one-timer. Look at Hasek. He drops his stick, tries to catch it with the blocker. No way, in the net behind him.
Miller's 10th from Eagles and Hunter at 8:24, and that is where we stand right now. It's the Capitals 3, the Sabres 1. Back from the US Air Arena in just a moment.
I keep having this dream. I can feel every turn, every move, every spin. It's wild. Then I wake up. Sea-Doo. Hold on to your dreams and hold on tight. Everybody doing it. Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo.
At Central Fidelity, we have a simple formula to beat the installment loan rate of any major Virginia bank every time. It's their rate minus 0.25% equals our rate. It's simple, unbeatable, and pretty obvious. For the lowest rate, Central Fidelity is where to borrow.
Greetings, Capitals. Today, the Iceman cooking Chris Webber's chicken and waffles. Now, chicken and waffles is like Chris is on the court. Sublime combination. The chicken and the waffles, power and grace. The speed and the strength, the waffles and the chicken. That's a sublime combination.
Now, is this for breakfast or for lunch?
You know, it's sort of like Chris's game. Brunch. Hey, Chris, one thing I'd like to tell you, too. I love your chicken and waffles.
The Orioles are way back in May on HTS. We got Musina, Big Ben, Brady, Raffy, Hammond, Hoyle, Cal, and the Streak. And we're taking on the Frou Frou, the Jays, the Bullseye, the Tribe, the Tigers, the Yankees, the A's, the Mariners, and the Angels. Oh, yeah. The O's are way back in May on HTS.
HTS coverage of Washington Capitals hockey is brought to you by Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. By Safeway, nobody does it better. And by your friends at Toyota. For quality and value that's simply the best, see your Toyota dealers today. Capitals 3, Sabres 1. As we get set for period number 3, Al Koken is downstairs with Capitals assistant coach Keith Elaine. Al? 76.
All right, Kenny, thank you very much. Keith Elaine, that second period certainly was a dominating period for the Capitals. What was the difference between the first and second for you guys?
Well, I actually thought we dominated the first period too, Al, but I just think that we were a little bit quicker jumping on the puck in the second period. I think it was very obvious that we were working well as five-man units so that we were shutting them down. They had no room to breathe. Our defense stopped them in the neutral zone, threw it back in, and we forechecked the heck out of them.
You know, we talk about so much about the big scoring lines, the Juneau line, the Pavanka line, but I thought so far the best line tonight with an extra guy has been Eagles, Hunter, Miller, and Poole, and these guys have not only done their job defensively, but they've created the forechecking tempo you need.
You're absolutely right, Al. And the other thing is we felt that we could jump on their defensemen and really cycle offensively, and that line's great at it, so it's a good night for them.
All right, it's worked so far for two periods. Let's see if it can continue in the third. A playoff spot on the line as the Capitals get ready to go here in this third period. Let's go back up to Kenny and Craig.
All right, thanks, Al. Our U.S. Postal Service game summary. Joey Juneau opened the scoring. Power play goal in the first period on a 5-on-3. And then it was Alexander Mogilny tying the game. 1-1 after one. In the second, Keith Jones deflecting in the Jim Johnson shot. And then Kelly Miller off the beautiful setup from Mike Eagles. And that is where we stand right now. Capitals 3, Sabres 1. Caps out shooting Buffalo 21-11. Capitals have not lost this season when leading after two periods, 15-0-1. The Sabres have not won when trailing after 40 minutes, 0-12-2.
That's going to be the key guy in this third period. A lot of fans here obviously cheering on Ace. Jimmy Carey's going to have to stand tall. This Sabre team down 3-1. They've got a lot of firepower. The Capitals have to continue to play solid defensively to get the victory tonight.
This only the second time the last 7 games the Sabres have allowed more than 2 goals. Hasek came in with only 1 goal against his last 2 games. 3-1 win over Tampa Bay, 5-0 victory over the Florida Panthers. But here tonight, 3-1 Capitals lead the Sabres. Caps skating from left to right in this third period, and the Sabres right to left. Rob Ray and Calle Johansson chase. Ulanov took a big hit from Presley as Michael Pavanka skates to center. Finds Calle Johansson, who shoots into the Buffalo zone. Dominic Hasek winds it around to Dave Hannon. Wayne Presley and Ulanov tried to return the hit on Presley. Wayne moved out of the way. Ulanov and Presley had some words.
Still good contact over there. He's looking for anything that moves.
to see that. 1 minute gone by, third period. Juneau, Jones, and Miller, the Washington Capitals goal scorers. Second to last home game of the regular season. Pittsburgh Penguins in town on Tuesday night. Sabres finish up with a home-and-home against Montreal, and then they host New Jersey. Florida and the Devils still tied at 1. Capitals can clinch their 13th consecutive trip to the playoffs if they win tonight and Florida loses or ties. Craig Beauty, who earned the 3 Stanley Cup rings at Edmonton, ahead to McGillney. Broken up by Juneau. Alexander McGillney. And Flea back to the Caps. Icing is called with just under 2 minutes gone by in this third period.
Kenny, you can really see the Sabres getting frustrated there. McGillney was hammered along the boards inside the Capitals blue line by Sylvain Cote, and he had to ice the puck just to get off the ice. They look very frustrated the way the Capitals are hooking, clutching, grabbing, slowing down the tempo of this game to be very advantageous for the home team.
John Muckler in his 4th season behind the Buffalo bench, spent 2 years as head coach at Edmonton, won the Cup back in 1990. Coach and general manager in Buffalo. Joey Juneau will take the draw with Derek Plant. Keith Jones shoots for a tough angle. Blockered out by Hasek. Here come the Sabres. Passes behind the stick of Plant. Shot in by Astley. Tim Johnson up the boards to Keith Jones. Brad May for Buffalo. Johnson unable to clear out. Plant looks to center. On deck. Hook to the corner by Carey. Audette looked to feed the point. Jones and Audette battle along the right wing boards, kept alive by May, and now the puck scoots out to center, where Jones knocks May to the ice. Ken Klee hemmed in by Derek Plant, but the Capitals able to clear out. Gary Galley, cross ice, tapped in by Brad May. 3 minutes gone by, third period. Capitals leading the Sabres 3-1. Juneau goes up the middle. Icing waved off. Hasek up the boards. Out of the reach of Pearson. Peter Bundra. Bundra lost an edge. Puck played by Schmelik. Richard Schmelik. Over on the right wing. Yuri Himmelov couldn't find it momentarily. Sweeney dropped past Galley, soft shot. Is sticked out and covered by Carey as Igor Ulanov gets together with Scott Pearson.
Hello, DC. Today on the Iceman Cooketh, I will be making an ice sculpture of Juwan Howard. Now, this ice sculpture is going to be just like Juwan. Smooth as ice, my man. Juwan is strong. Juwan is graceful. Juwan is cool. We got plenty of game. Hey, Lee, can you raise that ball up a little higher, please? There you go. Oh, man.
This does not look like Juwan Howard at all.
No, but it's got to do what the ice tells you.
This little baby is what America's all about.
You wouldn't buy an overpriced car.
And it's a steal at $10,000.
So why buy overpriced car insurance?
We'll fix that.
Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. 10,000 responsible drivers switch their car insurance to Geico every week. But there's always room for one more. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You're looking at Lou Holtz's newest colleague in the Notre Dame athletic department, the new hockey coach of the Fighting Irish, Dave Poulin, who chatted about his new appointment earlier today with Craig.
A situation came up, I guess, about 3 or 4 weeks ago through a third party, and I was contacted by the University of Notre Dame, and the opportunity arose to be the new head coach. So the retirement's been announced officially on Tuesday in South Bend, and my wife also went to school there, so it's very exciting going back home, I guess, in a way. And the program has been back Division I status with scholarships now for a few years, and we're definitely in a building stage, and the whole thing is just very, very exciting.
So congratulations to Dave Poulin, who will take over in South Bend. Icing called on the Sabres.
Well, I think he's going to do a terrific job. He's a hard worker, a dedicated athlete, and very well respected. He's going to be sorely missed. Fortunately for the Capitals, they picked up a guy who you told me 3 and 6 equals 9. But then we're talking about Mike Eagles. He's a veteran guy, very similar to this guy, heading to the coaching ranks next season.
Jim Schoenfeld said he had mixed emotions. He hates to lose Dave Poulin as a player, but he knows that Dave will make a tremendous coach. Probably the most prominent hockey player in the history of Notre Dame. You think back to Bill Nyrock, who won a couple of cups with the Montreal Canadiens, who also played at Notre Dame in the mid-1970s.
Yeah.
Bodger with a blast right off the face-off. Arms out to center. Johnson running to by McGillney, who shoots in. Lee is on it for the Capitals. Sends around the boards. Tapped along by Bondra. Gary Galley with just over 4 minutes gone by. Period number 3. Here's Pavanka. Pavanka looks in front to Kristich. Hasek covers up.
And Kenny, there's that unorthodox style. Look at where he's got the puck. It's in his blocker. There it is. He doesn't use his catching glove. He feels so confident that he'll drop his goal stick and pick it up with his blocker glove. Here it is. Pavanka to Kristich. Nice move. 3 Sabres on him. They let him go to the net. He doesn't even get a shot away. And there's Hasek with the blocker glove, grabbing it and picking up. One more look on the reverse angle. He seems to get away with this. The only goalie in the National Hockey League that does it. But he's had great success doing it. There he is, picking it up. We got an update on Doug Bodger, who was hit hard by Ken Klee in the second period on a power play. We said he went off to the dressing room. Found out right now he's got a bruised left shoulder. He will not return. That's bad news for the Sabres. Bodger, one of the key guys on the power play, and also now on their penalty killing team.
He played 5 minutes in period number 3. How about the New York Islanders going into Madison Square Garden for the second time this month and defeating the New York Rangers 4-2. That's good news for the Sabres, with the Rangers just 1 point behind Buffalo.
Wow. They always have trouble with those Islanders, the Rangers do.
No matter where both teams are in the standings, they always play close games. And Florida and New Jersey still tied at 1.
There was a big controversy. I wouldn't say controversy, Kenny, but there was a big decision who was going to start that game tonight. I'd like to know who started that Ranger-Islander hockey game. For the Rangers, there was talk Mike Richter or possibly Glenn Healy. Glenn Healy had replaced Richter, got the win against Tampa Bay, and there was a lot of talk, but Mike Richter ended up starting, and he takes the loss in a huge game for the Rangers.
Another icing called on the Caps. There is Richard Schmelik in his 3rd season. How about his fight on Sunday with Eric Lindros, which boosted the bench, and the Sabres went on to win that game against the Flyers 4-2.
It's amazing he's still playing. He did a pretty good job, though. Schmelik's a big kid, and that Legion of Doom line was pretty well shut down. They put a line together, the Pearson, Sweeney, Himmelev line. They did a nice job against the Legion of Doom, and that Schmelik play really propelled the team, and the bench got them motivated to go on to victory.
Eagles beats Esper to the loose puck. Kelly Miller racing over along with Jason Daw. Eagles takes a hit from Ashley. Good work in deep by Miller, Hunter, and Eagles. Gilney intercepted by Miller. And possession. Hit the linesman, Gerard Gauthier. Both teams in the midst of line changes with 6 minutes gone by. Third period, Capitals 3. The Sabres won. Buffalo with only 12 shots on goal. Johnson across to Clee. And Clee shoots off the boards. This will be another icing on the Caps as Craig Muni touches up. Now for a scoreboard update, let's go down to Al.
All right, Kenny, thank you very much. Good news for the Washington Capitals continuing. Bobby Holik has scored late in the third period, and the Devils now with a 2-1 lead over the Florida Panthers. Remember, if the Panthers go on to lose or just a tie and the Capitals win, the Capitals have secured a playoff spot for the 13th consecutive season. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Al. Good news for the Caps is right. The Devils with that lead, hoping to hang on there. But a tie's not going to hurt either with Florida, Kenny, if the Capitals beat the Sabres. They've got destiny in their own hands right now. 13:46 left here in the third period.
Juneau and Mogilny exchanged goals in the first, and then Jones and Miller in the second. Michael Pavanka, but offsides called on the Caps. This third period has been slowed down by a number of offsides and icings on both ends of the ice.
How about Michael Pavanka? I mean, he's quietly just racking up the points. Not a lot of recognition for what he's done. He too, also part of the big power play. A goal and 3 assists last game versus the Islanders. He's been the reason why Peter Bondra and Kristich, who scored of late, a couple of goals last game, have got it going. He's the guy dishing them the puck.
That 4-point evening by Pavanka Wednesday, the first time this season that a Capital has compiled 4 points in one game. Peter Bondra shoots in for the Caps. Back is Muni. Mogilny lost the puck in his skates. Kristich, shot blocked by Muni. Mogilny skates out of the zone. He's hit from behind by Pavanka. Then Mogilny able to shoot in. Johansson in a race with Himalev, and Johansson, the first one there, icing called on Buffalo.
Johansson with the big point totals, a lot of them on the PP, but that's where he's going to be used exclusively, I'm sure. And anytime there's a power play come playoff time, let's all hope the Capitals can hold on. See them in the playoffs for the 13th consecutive season.
If the Capitals and Devils both win, Capitals would remain within 1 point of New Jersey. Each team the same number of wins with 2 games remaining. Caps against Florida and Pittsburgh, while the Devils have a couple of tough games. They host Quebec and then play the Sabres in Buffalo. So there's still a good shot that the Capitals could finish 5th, which most likely would lead to a first-round matchup with Boston. Caps could really play one of 5 teams in the first round. Quebec, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Boston, or New Jersey.
I think Boston would be a good matchup. I really do. I think if they can get to that 5th spot and play the Boston Bruins, I think they could do very well against them. I mean, Jim Carey's from that area. You know, he's going to play a terrific game, and I think that would be very exciting to have a playoff series the last time in the Boston Garden, get a victory and move on.
That would lead to a matchup of the 2 rookie goaltenders.
Yeah.
Carey and your favorite, Blaine Locker.
Still have my lawyer work on that Locker stuff.
I'm sure Al Koken is checking out the royalty situation with Smoke and Jim Carey. Into the Capital zone, skates Himalev, drops it off to Mogilny. Penalty upcoming on the Caps. Delayed call as Sweeney was interfered with. So a big power play upcoming for the Sabres with 12.5 remaining in the third.
I ran out at lunch today to pick up a prescription and a few other things. I used to go to just any drugstore, but now I go to Giant Discount Drug. I really trust my pharmacist there. And hey, I get everything I need. I mean everything. So I'm heading for the checkout when I think lunch. And you thought all drugstores were alike.
You gotta see the O's go against the Twins. We got the kind of guys you want to take to the Homer Dome. Rack, Hoyle, Brady, kiss it goodbye. And Cal's got only 119 games till he's the ultimate Iron Man. The Twins, they got Kirby Puck. Not much else. So bring them on. You gotta see the O's and the Twins. Game 3, tomorrow night at 8 on WB50.
The Sabres go to the power play. Himmeland's going to drop it to Mogilny. He's going to dipsy-do, but at the top right of the screen, going to the net is Sweeney. There he is, upended by Igor Ulanov of the Capitals. Number 44 in his first game. He picks up a minor for interference. A much-needed power play right now for the Sabres. They have been very ineffective so far against this Capitals team.
Time of the penalty, 7:24. Zhitnik across the galley. LaFontaine. Capitals setting up the box. LaFontaine with Audette and Mogilny, who scored on the power play in the first period. Here's Galley across to Zhitnik. Gary makes the stop on only the second Buffalo shot this period. Donald Audette keeps the puck away from Ricky. Mogilny out to the point. Galley. LaFontaine. The return pass to Galley straight away. Here's Zhitnik moving in with the drive, and it's blocked by Ricky.
Unreal. Ricky got a piece of it, Kenny, but that one got through to the goaltender, Jimmy Carey. Ricky ready to slide out and sacrifice his body. I think he got a piece of it, but I think the majority of it stopped by the goaltender, Carey. Here it is. Great shooting position right here. Here we pick it up. Ooh, that didn't hit Ricky. It hit him right in the right top of the chest and the shoulder. Here it is. Watch this guy tee it up right here. There's the hard shot by Zhitnik. Coming over from L.A., he's supposed to be their power play guy, and right there, there's the power for the Capitals. Jim Carey in the net.
Folks in L.A. heavily criticized that deal.
Yeah.
3-for-3 trade with the principals, Alexei Zhitnik, the young defenseman to Buffalo, and Grant Fuhr, is certainly getting up there in years and becomes a free agent.
And has not played very well. I mean, their guy, is not Grant Fuhr.
LaFontaine blocked by Johansson. Audette and Johansson working the corner. Johansson clears it around the boards, kept it by Zhitnik. Under a minute to go on the Buffalo man advantage. Johansson and Audette. Johnson around the boards, kept alive by Zhitnik. Quick pass work by the Sabres. Zhitnik backhands behind the net to Audette. Swings it around to the point to Galley. LaFontaine. LaFontaine watched by Eagles and Johansson. Half minute to go on the penalty to Ulanov. LaFontaine in deep to Audette. Audette setting up behind the cage. Centers. Galley's shot blocked by the combination of Eagles and Poulin.
Great defensive play right there, and Eagles gives the linesman the puck. A good read right there. The Buffalo Sabres moving around the biscuit pretty well. Here's Audette behind the net. Nice play. He's going to saucer it back to Galley. There's the pass. Everyone collapses. Look at Eagles. He actually just gets tripped up there by Pat LaFontaine, but he falls down. Along with Dave Poulin. Here's the reverse angle. Here they are, the two guys. Beautiful play. The two veteran guys, 36 and number 9. Eagles and Poulin. Nice defensive play.
Just 17 seconds remain on the Buffalo power play, their 4th of the game. Steve Konowalchuk and Kelly Miller have replaced Eagles and Poulin. Konowalchuk and Plant on the face-off to the left of Jim Carey. Ashley moving in from the right point. Himmelman out to the left point, Galley. Here's Ashley, wrist shot deflected in front. Konowalchuk clears out as Ulanov makes his return. Puck deflects into the Caps bench, so the Capitals have killed off the Buffalo Sabres man advantage. Greg, the Sabres actually have a 4-1 edge here in this third period in shots on goal. Capitals playing a defensive style as they lead the Sabres 3-1.
But again, it's the quality chances. I mentioned 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and my count, only 1 in the third, and that was a hard shot from Zhitnik. Other than that, the puck has not got to the net. If it doesn't get to the net, it's not a great scoring opportunity. So if you keep the Sabres under 10 great chances throughout the course of the game, you're going to be in good shape and have a great opportunity to win.
Tim Johnson backhands off the glass. This will be an icing call on the Caps as Schmelik races back, makes the touch. 10:20 to go, third period. New Jersey leads Florida now 3-1 in the third. So if the Capitals can hang on and the Devils win, the Capitals will be headed to the Stanley Cup playoffs for the 13th consecutive year. Only 4 other National Hockey League teams have longer streaks of postseason participation.
That's exciting. It's going to take a little bit of pressure off the next couple of games, even though the Florida game and the Pittsburgh game are going to have a huge meaning to who they want to face off again. But it takes some immediate pressure off knowing that they're going to be playing in the postseason.
And the Florida Panthers, despite a loss tonight, would not be eliminated from the playoffs. They just wouldn't be able to catch the Capitals. So Sunday's game huge for the Panthers. Remember last year they came down to the final games in their inaugural season. Carried